China didn't invent paper money because it was clever or ahead of its time. It invented it because it was stuck. Long before Europe ever touched a banknote, China was already hitting the physical limits of metal money. The economy was simply too big, too
connected, and too active for coins to keep up. By the Tang Dynasty, China's population had passed 80 million people. Trade routes stretched thousands of kilometers. Markets were no longer local. They were regional, even continental. And money had a very basic problem. It was
heavy. Copper coins were everywhere, but moving them was a nightmare. Merchants traveling between provinces carried strings of coins weighing tens of kilograms. In many cases, transporting money cost more than transporting goods. The economy was expanding faster than the currency system could support it. So, merchants did what merchants always do. They adapted. In places like Sichuan, where iron coins were common and even heavier, wealthy trading houses began offering a workaround. Merchants could deposit their metal coins with a trusted firm and receive a paper receipt instead.
Receipt could later be redeemed for real money. These pieces of paper weren't official. They weren't legal tender. They worked for one reason only: trust. And trust was enough. Transaction costs dropped instantly. Trade sped up. Deals became easier. Money became lighter without actually changing. Form. Local officials noticed. By the early Song Dynasty, the state faced a growing problem. Commerce was booming, but copper shortages were getting worse. Mining couldn't keep pace. The military consumed massive resources. Taxes relied on coins that weren't circulating efficiently anymore. Shutting down private paper notes would have slowed the economy, so the state made a different choice. It absorbed the innovation. In 1024, the Song government issued the world's first official paper money, jiaozi. This wasn't a bold experiment, it was damage control. At first, the system was cautious. Notes expired. They could be redeemed for coins. Issuance limits existed. Circulation was regional. Officials understood exactly what could go wrong if promises exceeded reality. For decades, it worked. Paper money reduced friction. Markets expanded. Regions integrated. Tax collection improved. The Song economy reached levels of specialization and productivity unmatched anywhere else at the time. Cities grew, wages rose, living standards improved. China became the most advanced monetary economy on Earth. But paper money changed the rules. Metal money enforces discipline. You can only spend what physically exists. Paper money removes that barrier. Suddenly, future resources can be spent today. That power is hard to resist. Military pressure increased along China's northern borders. The Song relied on paid armies and mercenaries. War was expensive. Tribute payments drained the treasury. The state needed money quickly. Raising taxes risked unrest. Cutting spending weakened defense. Printing notes fell easier. At first, inflation was mild. Prices edged upward. Officials blamed merchants. Price controls followed. Enforcement tightened. But the real issue wasn't greed. It was structure. Paper issuance was no longer tied to real output. As confidence weakened, people started hoarding coins. Bad money circulated. Good money disappeared. Gresham's law in action, centuries before it had a name. The response was predictable. Print more. By the late Song period, multiple paper currencies circulated at once, issued by different authorities, backed inconsistently, redeemable irregularly. Notes stopped being universally accepted. Trust began to crack. When the Song dynasty fell to invasion in the 13th century, the monetary damage didn't disappear with it. The Mongols inherited the system. Kublai Khan ruled an empire unlike anything before it. Governing that scale required efficiency. Metal supply was limited. Transporting bullion across Eurasia was impractical. Paper money wasn't optional. Under the Yuan Dynasty, paper currency became mandatory. Taxes had to be paid in notes. Metal coins were sidelined. Refusing paper money became punishable. This wasn't monetary innovation. It was monetary force. Marco Polo later described the system with amazement, telling Europeans how paper stamped with seals could command value across the empire. It wasn't magic, it was authority. For a while, it worked, but spending exploded. Court expenses grew. Military campaigns drained resources. Disasters required relief. Revenues fluctuated. Instead of tightening issuance, the state expanded it. More notes, larger denominations, no redemption guarantees. Paper money became pure fiat. Inflation accelerated. Prices doubled, then tripled. Wages lagged behind. Farmers demanded goods instead of notes. Markets destabilized. Barter returned. Reforms followed. Old notes replaced with new ones at forced rates. Each reform destroyed what little trust remained. By the mid-14th century, paper money was effectively worthless. The Yuan Dynasty collapsed amid rebellion, famine, and fiscal breakdown. The Ming Dynasty took power and misunderstood the lesson. Traumatized by Mongol rule and suspicious of merchants, early Ming emperors doubled down on central control. They issued the Da Ming Bao Chao, paper money with no convertibility at all, no silver backing, no redemption, value by decree alone. Officials believed authority and punishment would maintain trust. They were wrong. Money flooded the economy. Prices soared. Peasants refused notes. Black markets thrived. Within decades, Ming paper money collapsed entirely. And then something unexpected happened. Silver saved China. Foreign silver, especially from the Americas, flowed into Asia. China absorbed it. Taxes shifted to silver payments. Markets stabilized. Paper money vanished from daily life for centuries. China had invented paper money, scaled it, institutionalized it, and abandoned it. Across dynasties, the pattern stayed the same. Paper money worked when it represented real value and clear limits. It failed when it became a shortcut for fiscal problems. The problem wasn't paper, it was incentives. Paper money amplified state power. It allowed spending without immediate political cost. Inflation delayed consequences. Hard decisions were postponed. The public paid later. This wasn't unique to China. Europe would repeat same mistakes centuries later. War financing, debt monetization, inflationary collapse. France, revolutionary America, assignats, continental currency. Different places, same sequence. China's uniqueness wasn't failure, it was how early it discovered the limits. Paper money doesn't fail because people misunderstand it. It fails because power abuses it. Trust isn't infinite. Once broken, it's rarely restored. After the Ming collapse, China relied on metal for centuries. Paper instruments existed only in narrow commercial forms. The state stepped back. Fiat money wouldn't return its scale until the modern era, when China invented paper. Money, it solved a logistical problem. When it lost control, it revealed a political one. Money reflects governance. The Song proved disciplined paper money could fuel growth. The Yuan showed coercion accelerates collapse. The Ming proved ideology can't replace credibility. Each dynasty learned something. Paper money didn't destroy China. Mismanagement did. That distinction matters. Paper money isn't destiny, it's a tool. Use it with restraint and it works. Abuse it and it collapses slowly, quietly, until control is gone. China learned that lesson 1,000 years ago. The world is still learning.